Hello, good evening everybody. Welcome along to PSGL, the Esports Cup 2020, round 4 here in China. The second half of the 6-race season is going to get underway in a few moments. I'm your commentator Owen White. With me as always, Austin. What are we going to see tonight then?
Good question. I think we're going to see a lot of overtaking on the back straight, one of the longest straights on the calendar, obviously, around China. Over a kilometer long. Not all of it DRS needs to be said. The DRS zone only activates about a third into the straight. So you can get a good run up and then use DRS to complete the overtake. But we have, as always, the best of the best in the PSGL Esports Cup competing here. 10 teams, as you know, if you've watched before, trying to... beat all the other ones, really, and crown themselves champions.
Absolutely, and currently the team leaders at the moment are still VSR. They've currently got a 14-point lead after Casper took victory, I believe, last week. His second win of the season, which is good for him in Canada. And really, he deserved it after the pole lap. I'm still not quite over that. The 6.9 it was. I haven't ever seen anyone get into the 1 minute 6s. He's got quite a thing for setting fast qualifying laps, but he's certainly the one helping his team out so far this season. And he's lining up once again tonight in the racing points. So they are liking him there, aren't they? They've got Lee Finlay beside him, but keeping strong with the guy that's bringing in the results.
Yeah, and I think you have to do that, even though I found it interesting. I was trying to find some information on all the drivers on the leaderboard. And Casper, of all the 4 VSR drivers, was actually the furthest down on the global PS4 leaderboard for China. Lee Findlay was the best one. That's why they chose him, probably. 28th. There's only 27 people. And it needs to be said, Louis Welch has 2 accounts ahead of Lee Findlay in 28th. But so there's actually 26 drivers in the world that are faster around China than Lee Findlay, at least on the PS4. But both Onyx and Vasta Racer were ahead of Casper in the leaderboard. But the guy brings you results. You can't just, replace him. If he's being that consistent and that good on race pace, you have to stick with him.
Well, yeah, just on Lee Finlay, I think he won in AOR. He hasn't won many races on this game, but it was here in China where he won, and it was Danny who came in second that day. So they are pretty much, you could almost say, the 2 favourites already. Apparently Louis Welch is having internet issues. He's here, but there's no guarantee he'll stay here. So fingers crossed he stays, because as we were saying before, 1 and 3, Louis and Danny in the TTs, that is a fight I can't wait to see if we get it.
Yeah, and Danny, you mentioned it, he finished second in the AOR F1 China Grand Prix just a couple of weeks ago. I think it was 6-7 weeks ago. And Liam Parnell, his teammate at S2V, who is also going to participate here tonight, he finished third. So it was a S2V double podium. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that again. However, it needs to be said that race was not very dry. Let's just put it that way. There was certainly some rain, and maybe tonight is going to shape up a little bit differently, which would obviously make the results maybe a little bit different. Plus, obviously, the competition that they face, I would argue, is a little bit higher. Not much, but it's certainly comparable. But I think it's a little bit better even.
Yeah, well, I think we've been told we're ready to go now, so thank goodness for that. We'll get some racing. Looks like Louis is going to stay, so that is good news. But anyway, while we're waiting, shall we go through the other teams then? We'll try and do it more quickly than we did last week, because I did realise we rambled way too much. As we were just talking about SGB, they are currently second place in the standings. As I say, they're 14 points off the lead, so it's all to play for. And as we say, they've got Danny and Liam. We know they're strong around here. We know they should be good tonight, as long as it all goes to plan. So we pretty much already covered them. As we see someone leave, that must be... Well, it's not Louis, actually. It's Donny. He must have just picked the wrong car or something. But hopefully no one has issues. That's the main thing. Anyway, yeah, we've talked about SGV, so we'll talk about CRG. They are currently third in the standings. They're on 90 points, and so that means that they're always sort of... I feel they're starting to fall a bit adrift now of VSR. They're over a race win behind now. Obviously, you know, they can still get to the top tonight, but it would need quite a performance now. They're actually going to have Williams down their neck at this point. But for CRG, they've got Blizzard and they've got Gamer in. I think Gamer is replacing Cardinal. Blizzard's staying on again. What do you think about them tonight? Because I don't really know what we're going to see from them.
Yeah, it really is a good question. I was only looking through the top 100 in the leaderboards, and I found Gamer being an 86th, so he was there. Blizzard wasn't at all, so not in the top 100. But we have overall, if I could just say that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drivers of the grid, of those 20 assembled here tonight, who I have found there. So it's pretty good, the level of competition here. But yeah, CRG... they're gonna have to really focus on what's going on behind them in the championship, because 6 points to Williams, 15 to BDG, 23 to IGK, and 27 to VRT. All of those gaps are smaller than the gap to VSR in the lead of the championship, so they have to pay attention that they don't fall down to 7th. This is really anyone's race here in that regard. CRG, Williams, BDG, IGK, and VRT can all switch positions quite happily and merrily here tonight.
Well, I think you could argue that Williams, they really should already be up ahead of Comrade. I mean, they were 2nd and 4th in qualifying last week, and it looked brilliant, but then it capitulated in a massive way. The fact they're only 6 points off, despite that, of 3rd place, which sort of says if they can just get their consistency down and don't bin it, they could actually be on for some good results. They should be in that top 3 already. They're running Tim and Sven this week rather than Roy and Sven. But yeah, surely if they have another chance to inform the grid, or they can replicate that or even go higher, they've got to take that chance this week.
They really have to, yeah. It was a huge missed opportunity last week, and certainly something that was mentioned in the internal debrief, I would assume.
You'd hope so.
Otherwise they're not doing their job properly.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure they've talked about this and analysed what went wrong and how to fix it. And maybe that's why we see the little switch here with Roy being subbed out and Tim coming in. It needs to be mentioned, Tim is the best driver for Williams Gym in the leaderboard, number 82. So he is one of those drivers who are in the top 100. And he certainly has some pace around here. So I think that was a very conscious decision made by Williams, and not just, oh yeah, we're going with our rotation, we're trying to switch someone out. I think it's really that they've chosen Tim deliberately because he has some pace around here, he likes this track, enjoys this track, and he has some mighty pace around here.
Yep, so hopefully they can make this all work, because it's all shaping up to be quite close, because again, as we were saying before, with BDG, they've got Midnight and they've got Louis, and that is different to last week because they've got Jonathan taken out and Louis being put in. I know Louis not online, he probably set that good time, with the line, but he should still have pace anyway, and they are only 9 points off Williams. And there's so many teams right now, this is going to close right up. I have a feeling we might end up seeing the top 2 teams pull away if CRG don't have a good result, because the 2 behind, they're going to be closing in, surely.
Yeah, going back to what you said about Louis, that he maybe set that lap time with the line on. His first position lap time was a 1:28.9. Second place was a 1:29.1. He was so much quicker than second place. And as I mentioned before, Louis has 2 accounts in the top 20. The other is 13th. And it might be that the first one was his, because he used to be a part of S2V. The first one is his S2V account, so that time is a little bit older. However, the other one is his current account, Louis_Welch03, which is 13th. And maybe he set that lap time without the line, at which point it would still be incredibly competitive.
Absolutely. So he's on the hards right now, so not going to see much from his teammates. However, Midnight is actually on the softs. Mind you, probably won't be the most representative time in the world, but it's better than watching him go round on hards, I guess. Will he go to the top? He should do. Yeah, 30.8. It's not really much of a lap, that is it? But Yeah, they're all going to be on the hard at the start, really. I've had out it's not going to be pushing on anything else. You're not going to get the best pace in this early stage. Because, yeah, you're not just... It's about whether you go on to the mediums as well. That's maybe why you're not going to see people going on the softs. Because if you get a lap that's too good on the softs and decide, actually, no, I'm going to start on mediums, you're screwed.
Yeah. You don't want to start on the soft compounded tyre around here. Reason being, they just go off so quickly. They wear out so quickly. We're talking 5-6 laps, and that's not even the worst thing. The worst thing is they overheat.
Yeah,
you cannot keep those tires and the temperature in control, and you just start sliding around and lose time, even though you're on the supposedly faster compounded tire. So medium and hard are going to be the tires that the drivers will choose. Right now, the hard's to just set a banker lap, because the drivers only get 4 sets of tires for the whole of qualifying, and at least 2 of them, and I think for all of them, it's 2 softs, 1 set of mediums, 1 set of hards. So you can't waste your set of mediums right now, because it's too early. As the grip levels evolve and the track gets quicker, you don't want to use your mediums right now. You don't want to use the softs, as you mentioned, because what if you set a lap time that's too good and you can't improve on the mediums, and then you're forced to start on the softs if you're in the top 10. And that's why everyone's using the hards right now, apart from Midnight. I don't know, maybe he forgot to switch the tire distribution, because the drivers have to switch that before they load into the session.
Yeah,
they have to do it between the lobby and the session start. And maybe Midnight forgot about it, that he did not load the harder tire distribution, which only that one will give you the hard compound tire. So it might be that Midnight is on 3 sets of softs and 1 set of the mediums right now. We don't know. We can't see, unfortunately. But it's very peculiar that he's the only one who hasn't used the hard compound tires right now.
Yeah. Well, I guess it will cost him at the end of the day, because as you know, that's far from a competitive time. But
yeah,
he could have just went on sauce, said, okay, I forgot to put hards on, but I'll just do, no ERS, lean fuel mix, and just do a lap like that. But yeah, either way, we've still got 11 minutes, so it's going to be a long time before we see the proper pace in these guys. So that means we've still got 11 minutes to go through all the teams. We've got 5 more still to talk about. We've got IGK at the minute. They're up to 6th in the championship. I mean, they had a good race last time, if I recall. And they're on to 67 points now, just 3 ahead of VRT. And tonight they are fielding Dommy and Gill, which is different from last week, because Zach has been replaced by Gill. Yeah. And yeah, already we've got Dommy in the top 10 again, not fully representative, but we'll see if they can keep getting up the grid.
Yeah, Dommy last week did pretty well, 6th place. Zach was 10th, and maybe that played a role. However, I think what played more of a role is that Gil was the fastest IGK driver in the leaderboards, 36th. Only just slightly ahead of Dommy, who's 40th. So they are one of the few teams who have 2 drivers, not only the top 100, but both drivers in the top 40. The only other team to do that is S2V with Danny and Liam Parnell. So IGK should be on for a really, really good result. They have to translate this, obviously, from just raw pace into the race and actually getting the points, but the prerequisite is pretty good. It's a pretty good situation that they find themselves in, with 2 very competitive drivers around here.
Yeah, so we'll hopefully see them keep going up the grid then. That does seem like the plan. They've got only 4 points behind them in the championship. They've got VRT, and they've got both their drivers at the minute in the top 7. They've got Service and Timon. Timon's staying from last week, I believe, and Jordan has made way for Surface. We know what they're about. We know they're quick enough. If they can just both be in the points this time, up high, they could also pose effect. This is the good thing, it's all so close. Really from CRT all the way down to Vortex Racing. You could sort of say Elliot and kind of third right now, with half the season still to go. It's just about who gets up there, really.
Yeah, that's why I said, that they might actually switch very, very much between right now and the end of tonight's race. The standings might be very mixed up between P3 and P7. So yeah, VRT. Not much of a chance that they move down. They have a 28-point gap to Firevoid, and then a 38-point gap to ECDF1 and Mentalism. So they're not really in that much danger to look behind. And sometimes, you know, psychologically speaking, it's a blessing to have that kind of situation where you can't really get worse. You can only improve. You can only move up, never down. It frees you up. You know, you don't have pressure in that kind of a situation, and so VRT, that might help them out. Going, you know what? We have nothing to lose here, but we have a whole lot to gain.
Yeah, absolutely. They can, as you say, they're not going to fall down unless you see any of the bottom three teams win the race. And from what we've seen really this season, that doesn't look likely at the minute. We've already sort of seen a pattern start there as Midnight improves a little bit on his time. It's basically, you got the top two, then third down to seventh, and then eighth down to 10th. That's sort of the three different tiers we've already got sort of emerging at the minute. It's up to CRG whether they put themselves in the top group or the middle group, but certainly the bottom three seem to be secure. And we've got the top of the bottom three, I guess you could say, on 35 points. We've got Firevoid Gaming in the Ferrari. This week they're running Waters and Yoan, and that is a complete swap of both the drivers. They had Nolan and Nadler last week, and yeah, just going to completely change it up and see if that helps their fortunes out a bit, because yeah, they're not really looking at moving up too much, but they need to clear themselves from the bottom two teams at the very least.
Yeah, and Nolan last week, if you remember, he was the only one to retire before the end of the race. Everyone else finished, so kind of makes sense maybe to swap him out. Hadler actually had a pretty good race, P9. It's not the best result ever, but in a field that close and that high quality, P9 is a good result. You know, ahead of Zach, ahead of Onyx, ahead of Midnight, head of Williams Sven. He had a good race, and still he does get subbed out. Maybe Wouters and Yoan just feel better around this track. China is a very peculiar track. If you look at obviously turn 1, and then as well the other snake corner, turn 12, 13 really. It's something you don't see on that many other tracks, where you have these long winding corners, and some drivers just do better with those than others.
Yeah, so we'll see how they get on now. Obviously, again, these times just saying not really representative. They're basically just going round in circles on the hard one now. You can see a few looking to go at mediums now. You got timing the first one out there. I'd be surprised to see him out this early. Maybe he'll do more than one lap. I guess you can probably get away with that on those tires, but we'll see what he decides to do.
Yeah, for sure. You can definitely get away with doing 2 hot laps on these tyres. They are durable enough to still have enough pace in the race. Even though the softs wouldn't even take 1 lap really in qualifying, and they already start screaming effectively at the start of the race in turn 1 really. But the mediums and hards are quite durable around here, certainly durable enough to warrant this kind of situation. If you're P10, I wouldn't be surprised to see some other cars do that. And yeah, LeBron all the way down in 20th.
Yeah,
he wasn't happy with his banker lap, so he says, you know what, I'm going to go early as well. Tried to set 2 laps. And let's see, is there anyone else? Domi as well. That's about it. Those are the first 3 drivers on the mediums out there. I think makes total sense. If you're a little bit further down the order than you'd like, just go early. 2 laps, you know, less pressure. You can maybe try to set another sort of banker lap now, and then the really big one towards the very end of the session.
Right, let's quickly knock at the last 2 teams then in the championship. They're both on 25 points. First one, ECDF1. They've completely changed their team as well. They've got Marino and Andres in. And last week they had Jogar and Jorpa, so hopefully they can do better with that one. And I think actually MNT, if they've kept the exact same team of Frederick and LeBron, basically, I don't want to say they're fighting each other. Hopefully they can get at the grid again, but surely a good result's going to come sooner or later for one of those 2 teams.
Yeah, it has to. You would have to assume. the the competition here is so good that, you know, if you're just off by a couple tenths, that moves you down the order 8, 10, 12, 14 places. It's that high quality, and I think that's what MNT and ECDF1 are really experiencing right now. They are good, they have really good drivers, but maybe they're just not on that kind of a level, which is just that bit higher. It's like 100% to 99%, you know.
Yeah, I mean we've seen flashes though from particularly MT Louis in Austria qualifying sort of the grip, but he just fell down. If they can just keep that up, you know, then they'd work. But who knows? Today could be today. Looks like Midnight, by the way, is fully embracing wingman mode. Surely, there's nothing else I could see him doing if he's going to be going out on softs again. Surely he's thinking, right, let's just help Louis out here. Maybe I'm thinking too hard about it, but why else would he be trying to get to the front?
I don't understand this either, unless, this is really the only explanation I can think of too. A two-stop isn't viable around here, you lose too much time. The softs aren't really, effectively a two-stop is really around here just a one-stop with you know, the added time loss of another pit stop. You don't gain any time from going onto the mediums twice. And yeah, I don't understand it really. I don't know. You'd have to ask Midnight. Maybe he just wants that pole position. Maybe someone didn't tell him that there's no points for that. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll see what he does. I know that Casper, by the way, keeps DCing and coming back. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to get another lap in though if he hasn't joined back now. So that's a shame for him because he was looking quite good, although his car is leaving the pit, so hopefully it all stays good and we'll see him do a lap. By the way, track limits are being looked at turn 10. I guess no one needs to go wide there. I mean, I know a lot are tempted to, but if it's caught, then they might find themselves in trouble. Here's Midnight getting some section off Louis as well. Louis doing all he can to make sure that Midnight puts himself well clear on pole. And that is a very, very nice substitute indeed, isn't it? That should get him into the 29s or even the 28s if he's really lucky.
I doubt he's going to get into the 20. Oh, yep, there you go. Lock up into the hairpin. Missing the apex there quite significantly. That's certainly not a 28. 29 still possible.
I'm not going to be a 29.
Easily. Oh, wow, yeah.
He's down.
He didn't even improve.
That
is surprising. And look at IGK right there. Gil puts himself in third after Domi puts himself in second. IGK looking mighty strong right now.
Well, it's, in fairness, only 5 people have set a time on the medians. It's more for the top runners to come up first. There you see Liam already going faster. You've got Blizzard using the slipstream there off his teammate. He's looking to try and get to the top. Casper's going to be one of the last across the line. He's already, I think, giving slipstream to Lee Finlay. And there's a lot doing that on the back straight, as you would expect. Only 30 seconds to go in the session, though, so they better all hope they get to the line. Blizzard has not got a lap. He has invalidated it, and that would have been P2. He's got to go again and hope he's got the fuel. Either that or he's in real trouble right now. He's going to be starting right down at the back of the field.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm looking at Casper. He's got 15 seconds.
Louis spun off on his lap. That is bad news. Midnight's really going to have to do the job now. And, well, on those softs, this is the one thing they didn't account for.
Yeah, that is the danger of this. Really what is effectively a one-shot qualifying. You have one chance on the mediums. And that's the danger. You mess up, and all of a sudden you find yourself down in P14. And BDG effectively have it all to do now in the race.
Here come the Williams boys. Tim's already done his time, I guess, but looks like he has his P8. Here comes Sven with all of the slipstream he could want. Checkered flag is out. Everyone who crosses the line now will be finishing their laps and not doing any more. Sven hits the apex nicely. Sets himself up now for the final corner. He's looking to get up into the top two, if not pole. Midnight's time is very approachable, very beatable. Will Sven do that? Oh, he got close, just over a tenth and a half off, but still P2. I guess he'd be happy with that one. Who else is going round? We've got, I think, Danny now going P2.
CNG Gamer's coming through the hairpin. and approaching the final corner now. Looks pretty good. He got a slipstream off of Blizzard there on the long straight, as most teams do. Across the line he comes, and it is P8 for him.
Look at this. Here comes Casper. Can he get that slowed down? It looked like he broke quite late. He has gone wide.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be okay, but not really looking too good. There's also the Ferraris ahead, Johan and Waters. I think that's Johan going to the pits. Waters up to the line. He goes P8, not too bad there. But Casper, P3,
Third.
not bad either. And
1 millisecond behind Danny. Wow. Look at second to fourth. Yeah. Wow. They tried to recreate Jerez 97 it was, wasn't it?
Indeed, but they failed.
Yeah.
But still, we've got 4 different teams in the top 4, but Midnight, he sees his teammate in 19th. This is going to need to be the biggest train you've ever seen in your life for this to work out for BDG tonight at this moment.
Yeah.
Louis really gone and blown this.
At the same time, Midnight is going to have a fantastic section effectively from, let's say, turn 7 to turn 10, because the moment turn 11, 12, 13 comes around, he needs a gap big enough to stay ahead of everyone else on the long straight.
Right then, so the grid: Midnight on pole for BDG, from Danny, Casper, Sven, like I say, 4 different teams in the top 4. Williams will be very happy there to see that there's only one Tauros in the top 10 for CRG. They'll be loving that. They've got Liam 5th there, Dommy 6th, IGK in the top 7, both of them with Gil 7th. So actually I was a bit pessimistic there, saying they'll fall down, but they didn't actually, staying in the top 7.
Not too much.
Good to really see that, yeah. Really on the way up again.
As I said, both of them really, really strong in the leaderboards, and it proved to be the case here in qualifying as well. Really good job from the IGK guys. 6th in the standings right now, but I think if they can translate this into some sort of success in the race, then they're on the way up.
Okay, let's finish the rest of the grid then. Timon, Waters, Sergi Gamer, Andre, Joan, Frederick, Tim, Surface, Marino, Blizzard, Lee Finlay with a dreadful lap, unfortunately for him. Louis, who spun off, and LeBron, just not a great lap, I guess. But interesting there to see Ferrari up there as well, 9th and 12th. That's not really too bad at all for them. As I say, they're trying to distance themselves from the bottom 2 teams. They're doing a good job of that at the minute. And it looks like we might have some lobby issues, by the way, because we're just stuck here. Normally doesn't take this long.
I think we're going to have to restart.
Gotta love a bit of Codemasters brokenness.
I can't wait for F1 2020 when the same problems are going to happen again.
Indeed. Right, well, we await news then of what's going to happen next, because, well, we've clearly not got a timer. We should have a timer. Well, the timer would have run out by now.
I think what's happening is that there's one driver who's holding this up. And as soon as that driver leaves, and I think we're getting... Oh, no, you're okay. You're just asking. Okay. Obviously, I have an eye on the our DM groups and everything to see what's going on, because we are apparently experiencing some sort of technical difficulty. But I think, one driver just has to leave, and the moment they do, all of a sudden it's like a clogged drain. All of a sudden, you've cleared it and everything's flowing off. Everything's working fine again.
I'm telling you, it's Louis that's done this. He wants to have a qualifying session, I'm telling you.
Either way, it needs to be said, he's not going to get another qualifying session. And the result of the qualifying will stand, and the order will be the same. And for the top 10, they have to start on the same tyres. So even if we get a new lobby, Midnight is going to have to start on the softs. They will be fresh softs. That's, he's going to be a bit happy about that, although not too much. Again, it's less about the wear, and it's really more about the temperature of these soft tyres at the start of the race. So, doesn't really help them all too much. For the medium runners who had 2 stints, like Thyman, who went out very early, if you remember, for him, that's good. Oh, there you go. Blizzard has left the session. There you go.
He's going to be off to make a new lobby then. He is the lobby host. Hopefully they remember to invite me this time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we had a little bit of an issue where
They forgot me earlier.
I had to invite Owen because the others forgot about him, which I don't appreciate because I need Owen alongside me.
Aww. Anyway,
I'm always so mean to you that I decide what, I'm going to be nice tonight.
lovely. Well, I know we're going to the lobby now, but we've only had 2 people leave, so it should be actually restarting. And, well, it would have been dry anyway, look at that, what to do. But, yeah, we're going to wait for our invites to come, I guess. Hopefully, like I say, we get remembered, or I get remembered this time. And, yeah, get ready to watch Demolition Derby, I guess, on the formation lap, which isn't going to happen. But, yeah. Yeah, Connor's just saying we have to fill the time now. Lol.
Alright.
Shall we complain about people who don't want us to use the IGK telemetry for the 2nd week in a row?
We could do that, yeah.
Could do that.
I think that's a good shout, really, as the drivers start to leave the lobby. I think we can leave the lobby at this point as well, can't we?
Well, yes. We should probably mention, right, because we were given the option last week to use an IGK telemetry system. We tested it out last Sunday, and we thought, this is pretty good. It tells us all
It was 2 weeks ago.
8 days ago. We'll go with that. It gave us...
no. It was
15
15 days ago.
No, it wasn't. 7 days ago was Canada, and we tested it the day before Canada. And then we got told, no.
Did we?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. My bad. I got the timeline wrong. My apologies.
Anyway.
You are absolutely right.
Anyway, we were basically able to see all the tyre wear and tyre temperatures. We were able to see what damage drivers had. So, listen, we made a whole song and dance about Danny not having damage. He actually did have very minor damage on his front wing, but the game wouldn't tell us. It was a perfect example of where the app would have told us, because it would have said he's got 10% damage on his front right wing. We wouldn't have got told that if we had. We would have got told that if we had the telemetry, and that will tell us for every single driver. And actually, it's probably have an option. I don't think we can see it from here, but there's an option that lets you make your telemetry public, and it works very nicely. It gives us all the info we need. Also gives us their best sectors, gives us penalties that they've got, and it just means we don't have to go through all the menus and look through pointless stuff. We actually get more information, and some of the teams...
And it needs to be said, the tool is still in development.
Yeah.
There is going to be... We could have gotten this week, if we were allowed to use it, we could have gotten information during qualifying, sector times of all the drivers, and we would have... I work with the creator of the tool a little bit to, relay from the commentator's perspective what we want in the tool. It's fantastic. And we could have got the qualifying screen that shows if someone goes purple in a sector. Effectively, it would turn into the F1 timing screen that some of you who have F1 TV might know. That's the way that was heading. And we are not allowed to use it because some people were complaining that IGK, who have developed this tool, were allegedly getting access to information they shouldn't have access to, which, I mean, none of that information is really... Yeah, none of that information is life-changing, is making a difference, really.
By the way, I see there ACDF1 are asking about free tyre choice. You do not get free tyre choice. You have to go on your qualifying tyres if you're in the top 10.
Yeah. If you're in the top... Well, I think both ECD drivers were just outside the top 10, 11th and 16th or so. So they do have free tyre choice. But generally, if you qualified inside the top 10, you do not have free tyre choice. For midnight, it's the softs. You cannot switch. You cannot choose any other tyre. For any other driver in the top 10, it's the mediums. Outside the top 10... You're free to choose whatever you like.
Yeah. So basically, like I said, that was IGK that set this all up. And basically, people thought that IGK would take an advantage by looking at the data. And I guess you could say that, okay, they get data. What's they meant to do with that information? He's 4/10 quicker than me in Sector 1. Let me cut the corners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what are they meant to do? These men... I just feel it's a bit petty. maybe I'm not a driver at the top level, or maybe I don't know their mindset, but personally, it just helps the viewers, it helps the streamers, it helps so many people. Come on.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. Plus, it's just that when you say IGK have developed that tool, it's really an engineer who is a part of IGK. I talk to him very, very much, almost every day at this point, and he doesn't like at least he said to me, and I'm willing to trust him on that. He doesn't send this over to all the IGK guys being like, hey, look here. He doesn't do that. He developed that on his own just because he's a part of IGK. Everyone now thinks that, IGK get all this information about, they are better at managing the tyres by 0.5% a lap.
Guess it's time to retire from league racing. I can't hold my tyres for a lap. Uh-oh. And I mean, if you want to be really particular about it, if you think there's an advantage to be gained, turn the stream on and listen to us give the information, and then nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
If you really want to make that argument. Anyway, I think we've done enough fencing about that. We should probably explain why we're actually restarting. Somebody had connection issues and we had to restart because we don't want to start with 19 drivers. Saying that, someone hasn't turned up. So
yeah, we're still waiting for one driver, and I'm trying to find
Louis,
who it
isn't
is.
It's Louis. I told you this is Louis' fault.
It?
Told you this is Louis' fault. Yep, it's Louis.
Yeah, it's Louis. Wow.
Well, that might be super sub. Someone else has left.
Oh, great.
This is going to get annoying. I bet it was Frederick, that one.
No, it was still there.
Nope, it was LeBron. I got the wrong one.
The other MNT, yeah.
So we might be looking at some super subs here. Either we're losing a car or two from the grid. There's LeBron back. Yeah, just waiting on Louis then again, and then we should be getting going again hopefully soon.
Do we have information? No, we don't have information. Okay. Would be interesting to know what's going on with Louis right now. It's just that maybe he just smashed the wheel in anger over that qualifying session over the spin. It could be the case, although I would doubt it. But you never know. Maybe that's why he spun in the first place. The wheels come off of the table of the desk that it's mounted to, or the wheel stand. You never know.
I'd like to point something out. Why is the line on, people? Line shouldn't be on. This is meant to be no assists. I just saw someone in the chat asking whether line's on. I thought, probably should check that. Line is on, folks. Someone tell them to turn it off.
Yeah.
Or please, thank you. We don't want to give Louis a free W for 19 on the grid. That'd be embarrassing.
Yeah, that's probably what it would end up as if the line remains on. It's just Louis just driving circles around everyone else. Maybe except for Danny, but yeah, Louis with the line is a different beast. One that you cannot tame. But the racing line is on. Everything else is off. But there we go. The host has changed the session options. It is off now.
And you can see you've got the manual clutch, and you can still do that. Good for them.
Yeah, right. You can switch between two different manual clutches.
Right,
like manual with clutch. Sorry, my bad. Manual gearboxes.
Well, there's that sorted. We're just waiting for something to happen now. We've got 19 out of 20 drivers in the lobby.
Waiting for Louis.
I guess after that spin, he had an aneurysm. He couldn't believe what just happened to him.
Maybe I think maybe the wheel actually came off. That's why he spun. That's what I'm gonna say.
Could be.
I hope he can get it mounted back to wherever he had it mounted to. I remember my very first wheel was one that you just put on your legs. I had have you ever seen those?
No.
No. It had like a little bit of a plastic frame that would perfectly fit. If you put your legs together, it would perfectly fit in your lap.
I can see why people don't use those.
Sorry, what?
I can see why people don't use those.
Yeah. Yeah, I used that for, I think, 2 races. Then I decided, you know what, I need a G25 at the time because I'm old. So G25 was the Logitech wheel at the time, not G29 as it is now. G25, 2 buttons, 2 on the wheel. Pretty good wheel. But yeah, no, otherwise it was really good. But yeah, that was my very first wheel, and it wasn't good, I tell you, obviously. But yeah, it was cheap. It cost like 30 euros maybe, 25, something like that.
Had you thought this would work properly for that price?
It wasn't, for that price, it was okay. I mean, you know, G20 is obviously much more expensive. Or at the time was much more expensive, so, you know, I made that jump because I was like, no, I need something better than that. But yeah, no, for those couple of races, for the price, it was good.
Right then, so, still waiting. Louis says he's trying, lol. But he's not, well, someone else is, oh, for Christ's sake, this is just not happening, is it? We're gonna be waiting forever. Is that Blizzard gone? Are we, no, it's not, it's his teammate. I was about to say, if we're making yet another lobby, it's his teammate
yeah, it is.
gone.
Yeah.
Gamer gone.
It's Gamer62, yeah.
Right, well, while we're here, we might as well quickly just let you know, we still have 3 races to go if this one ever actually gets started. We've got China today, we've got USA next week, which I can wait forever for that one. I'm not looking forward to that in the slightest. I hate that track. Brazil's the finale, though. I also hate that track in the rain. If it ever rains, I'm not commentating it ever again. If you watch the PSGL F1 race, I did try not to fall asleep. I think I succeeded, but the viewers weren't enjoying it one bit. So basically, no rain there, please.
I mean, if there's a track where rain is rather common, Owen, I'm gonna have to tell you, you don't like it, but it's Brazil.
Ah, God. Well, no. Well, actually, the track you're looking for there is Singapore. Thank God we don't have that one here.
Fair enough. Yes, fair enough. No one likes Singapore as a track. No driver likes it, I think. Is there any driver? Guys, in the chat, since we have a lot of people here, is there anyone who likes Singapore? Who likes driving around Singapore? Because
well,
every time I drive it, I just find it to be just so boring as a track, because you just have, you have no straights. You just have quarter after quarter after quarter after quarter. It's just you never get into a rhythm.
Well, you know, right, see on career mode though, if you have a few upgrades on the car and all sorts, then it becomes the best track in the world. That's just my opinion.
I still disagree with that. I really don't like Singapore. If Liberty Media tomorrow announce, you know what, we've cancelled the contract with Singapore, it's not on the calendar going forward, I wouldn't shed a single tear. I'd just be like, I probably, honestly, brutally honest, I'd probably pop the champagne.
Well, you wouldn't miss it on the game, but I have a feeling you'd probably miss it in real life, because you do get... What? The races are good there, though.
The races are good because people end up in the wall.
Yes, exactly. That's
we can have that at Monaco.
And Vettel wins all the time, and apart from that one time he crashed, and the other time.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Still, nah. Well, one track we do need back is Malaysia.
Oh yes, Malaysia. Look,
it could be a night race now.
Oh yeah.
It could be.
Here's a little anecdote. Here's a little anecdote for you. The first track I ever league raced on was Malaysia. Finished P9 out of 10 finishers, and 10 who were classified 9 finishers.
Good.
So I was good, but I loved the track, and it was also, I remember, I like it so much because it was the first MotoGP game I ever played, which was like MotoGP 3. It didn't even have a year. It was just the third ever official MotoGP game, and it had a demo, and on that demo you can only drive around Malaysia. And I was driving that demo so much that I learned. Look, I befriended half of the grass that is next to the track
Lovely.
in Malaysia. That's how well I know the track by now.
It's funny, I used to not like the old Malaysia on the old games, I mean. But then the second 2017 came out, it was the best track in the world. I see Louis, by the way, has got a new lobby himself. Let me just check what's happening with that, because he's invited me to it. And he's, okay, yeah. Okay, I'd say that's the lobby we're looking for then. Connor's in that one.
Be that that's the same lobby we're currently in. So, I don't know. I just got an invitation from Connor, which is, 11 drivers. What is this?
Join my one. I've got the right one.
Alright.
Yeah. Sorry for this. I know this is taking absolutely forever, but blame Louis and only Louis. If you've got someone to complain to, write to Louis what's his Twitter? I'll tell you the ambition.
I can't even. Oh my god! Now my game is frozen. I can't even leave that lobby. I have to restart. Fantastic. Give me a second.
I've got my head in my hands. This is a disaster.
Thankfully, you're streaming and not myself, because I would have to restart the game, meaning the stream would stop. Thankfully, you're the one streaming.
Well, yes, but then again, I'm also notorious in this league for having horrendous stream quality sometimes. And now that we've got all these issues, that's probably the only thing that hasn't happened yet. So,
don't mention it now. Just let's switch topics here, okay? Because commentators curse. You know how it is. We both know very well how real the commentators curse is on F1 games and league racing in general. Let's not go there.
What's your favourite commentator's curse you've ever done?
I've ever done? Ooh, that's a good question. I'd have to go back to the old days, really, on R Factor. It was, I think it was my first full season as a commentator after being a league racer in the very same league. And what happened was, I said, it was on the final lap, and I said prematurely that a certain driver, who, by the way, is going to participate in the virtual Le Mans 24 Hours, like the big one, the sanctioned one by the actual Le Mans 24 Hours. That's how long I go back. I know some of those guys. I say he was going to win. About, what was it, 5? Like, he was so far ahead, he was like 6-7 seconds ahead. I said he's gonna win. It would have been his first win. And then, I think, where was it? It was, I think, around the old... like, Spa with the old bus stop.
Right.
And then he spins on the exit of the bus stop. Yeah. Losing himself so much time, the second place comes through, and wins the race.
You see, I haven't actually had too many catastrophic commentators curse words. I think my favourite one, I guess, that we've had together maybe would be, remember One Hub in Russia last season when we were saying it was the cleanest start we'd had all season, and straight after that there was a massive 6-car pile-up. And there were cars in the fence and all sorts, and it was just the biggest crash of the entire season. It was very funny. But I need to get more into my commentators' curse business. You need to go spectator as well, because they might think we're about to go and we're not. We haven't got 20 drivers. You're not a driver.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I've retired you there.
I always forget that when I join a new lobby. I always forget, I have to put it on spectate. So, my bad. I did that now. But we're still waiting on someone.
Yeah, we've been waiting a solid forever.
It's an alpha. It's Dommy.
Well, for goodness
sake.
Dommy. What is wrong with you? I just want to race.
Have a look at the chat.
I'll race for you.
Cheeky plug there from, I think it's Connor running the PSGL YouTube account there in the chat.
Yes,
subscribe.
I approve of this message. 60% of you watching right now are not subscribed to our channel, and we have the best grid on PS4 just ever. I mean, look at this, it's absolutely stacked. And then for regular racing as well, forget all the esports stuff, we'd have the best. We've lost another driver, we'd have the best grid anyway. The PSGL F1 was better than AOR F1 this season. I'm just saying, we had some of the best drivers around. Austin's having a heart attack in the background, but yeah, 60% of you aren't subscribed. Are you alive there? Are you alright?
Yes, my bad.
Yeah, anyway.
I tried to drink and messed up. I'm sorry.
Good job. But, yeah, 60% not subscribed, and yeah, you're missing out on a lot. You know, it helps us all out to subscribe, sharing as well, putting notifications on. It just helps us all grow as a league. As Dommy shows up, but someone else had just left, as I said. I've no idea who. It's a Red Bull, is it? I've lost track at this point, but yeah. Subscribe. That's
man, I'm so sorry. I wish I had a mute button on my microphone. I'm sorry for that. I had to go through the PlayStation menu to mute myself. My apologies. I wanted to drink something in between while you were talking, and I'm not good at drinking apparently.
Oh my god, Tommy's left again.
Oh no.
You know, we're starting to get at the point now
and
where
Marino's back.
we're at the point now where
Tommy.
Just the second we hit 20 drivers, I don't care. Everyone hit go, and if someone doesn't make it to start, tough. We've been waiting for over 20 minutes now.
The lobby kicked out Marino, apparently.
Can I just say, by the way, thank you. I know we've had literally nothing going on. We've still kept a consistent 80 viewers at the whole time. It's been dipping in and out, but the fact is, you're also sticking around. I can say, really, if you aren't subscribed, I mean, you're sticking around for this, you might as well just subscribe for the actual racing, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
And if you can't really take waiting that long, we have 2 more races coming up in the next 2 weeks. So, definitely subscribe for those. Also, make sure to hit the like button. It helps spread the league, the YouTube channel, and this stream around. So if you want some more guys to enjoy league racing, to enjoy watching it, hit the like button as well.
He's left again. I guess we're well, ECD, this is not going to help them in the slightest. It's not going to help IGK either. They're starting 6th and 7th. This is a total disaster for them, but it looks like we're...
Oh, the session starts without them now.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, tough. We've waited for this long now. I just want to see a race.
Yeah, same. And I think we're gonna get it now, thankfully. Yeah, I'm gonna try and take a second attempt at trying to drink a little bit of orange juice. So let's hope I don't mess up again.
While you all do that, I'm seeing everyone saying PSGL over AOR in the chat. Good stuff. You see, I'm glad about this. Yes, some of you might like AOR as much as PSGL, but listen. You wouldn't get me winning a championship in AOR, and that makes it instantly better PSGL. Mind you, I am slightly considering doing AOR next season, even though I said I'd never do it, mainly because I'm running out of options. Limitless, you need to pull through with this league, man. But anyway, give me somewhere to race, please, or commentate. I don't care. Actually, no, I do care. I'll be racing here.
You can commentate in AOR.
Oh, but. Yeah,
I commentate in AOR.
You do, but then I'd probably not be in your tier, and I don't commentate with other people. I don't know what it's like to commentate with others. It's either me or it's me and you. Or Jacko and Ginger Andy, but that's a different league altogether. Jacko, by the way, great stuff. We've got good connections. Watch it. Sorry, you're probably not going to appreciate me for that one. But we've got Ginger Andy. We've got Big Man Jacko. Remember Jacko from ILR? We've got him. And you also got me.
Jeez. We're playing all sorts of leagues.
We have Louis Delatraz. Have you? No. So, no one. We had Thibaut Courtois as well at one point. Did you know that? No. So, sorry, wrong league. It's just Sven's having issues now as well, and we're not going anywhere with this. So I might as well tell you about other alternate leagues to watch at this point.
Hold on, we're waiting for Sven to load into the lobby.
I know, Sven. I'm going to kill you.
Maybe it's Sven. Maybe it's Sven who was the issue all this time.
Wouldn't that be something? Right. Well, it's nearly 9 o'clock in the UK. I'm still waiting for this to start. We'd be like halfway through the race now. We're not even We're still in the loading screen. Oh my god. No, we're not doing 20% race. We're not going to go that far, I don't think, because that would absolutely kill the racing. But if it's PSN, then we can't do anything about it. And, I'd be happy to blame PSN for this. I don't know. If it's not their fault... We just
have a message. Due to recurring lobby issues, the race will be postponed, and a future date will be decided or determined soon. So, we do not have...
I say do Race of Champions right now because I'm probably the only champion here. Well, no. Well, yes, I might be actually. I might be the only one here from PSGL anyway. So technically, this means I'm the PSGL Race of Champions champion because I'm the only champion here.
No, you're not, Owen. Stop.
Well, Louis didn't win the title this season, so it technically counts. And we haven't got Yarno here, so yes. Thank you. Right, well, sorry, folks.
Owen.
I don't think I've ever actually had this happen before in League Race.
I didn't either. This is new for me as well. Usually, it's half the grid can't even connect to the lobby in the first place, or something like that. The fact that everyone can connect and then it breaks, that's just something I've never seen before, and it's very unfortunate. But yeah, as it says that in the chat, due to recurring lobby issues with different hosts, the race will be postponed. And a future date will be decided or determined soon. So make sure to follow at PlayStation_GL on Twitter for updates on that. But unfortunately we will not have a race tonight. However, the race will still happen, just at a later date.
Yes. This is where the 60% of people not being subscribed to the channel really hurts us, because when this happens, you're not going to know when the next one is now. So you've really got to make sure you got your notifications on for this one, because it will be a good race. It'll be worth waiting for. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen tonight because it's all Sven's fault. Blame Sven.
Oh, no. I mean, it might be, but we don't know for sure.
Well, I'm happy to not blame me. Let's just say that much. Look at that. The second he leaves, it's working. That's all I'm saying, folks. We've got a race, but we're not really. I mean, we could just sit back and watch whatever this is going to be, but I don't think Connor would appreciate it. And there's Marino back. Yay!
Well, yeah, since we had some more people joining ever since that happened, as Pablo Jogla in the chat says there as well, the race unfortunately is postponed. It will not happen tonight. There are lobby issues that happen with different hosts. We've tried a lot here, and unfortunately, technical issues make it impossible for us to hold this race tonight. It will be held at a later date. More information on that. It will be decided later on. It hasn't been decided yet.
Well, yes, to quote Connor himself, it says he has to assess the PSGL dates to whether it's a postponement or full cancellation, because, like I said, we do have Formula Experience. We've also got Formula Performance, and we've also got the Race of Champions to come up at some point, which I know I'm joking about that, but that might actually end up not happening now.
Well, the one thing that we can say is that, as Connor put it in the chat, the race is postponed. It's, at this point at least, not cancelled, so it will happen at a future date.
I mean, look at it this way, right? We've been looking at ways to get COVID-19 into F1, and here we are. We've got a postponement for China. We've done it. The first race to be postponed in 2020 is the Chinese Grand Prix. Thank you very much. This is realism, folks. Realism.
Unfortunately.
You don't get this anywhere else except for real life. Anyway, I think we really do need to close it out now. But yeah, like I say, keep up to date with it all. Please don't drop us. We should be back. I assume we'll be on the normal schedule then, so it will be USA next week, unless it all gets shifted back one. I say it'll either be China or USA next week. I assume the qualifying results will stay the same as well. I guess we'll confirm that when it all happens. But sadly, we're going to have to leave you now. I hope we've entertained you regardless. I know we haven't had much to do, but cheers to everyone for sticking with us. And I hope we can give you a good show next time out. I believe the next race on the channel is going to be Formula Performance. That is going to be tomorrow, I believe it is as well, I think. So, yeah. We'll see you... Well, me and Austin will see you next Monday. And I don't know actually who commentates Formula Performance, but they're good, I'm sure. So, do watch them. They will hopefully have a China race themselves. And we'll see how that one works. But from me and Austin... Thank you all for watching, for what there was to watch, and sorry. We'll see you soon. Safe travels, everybody, and stay safe, I guess. It's a weird way to end